Okay, 3 minutes, go. When I was young, up until the ages of 29, I was sick a lot. I had throat infections at least every 2 to 3 weeks. And my doctor, for many years, would never take my tonsils out. I was like, can I please have them out? Like, you get ice cream and stuff. Please, can I have my tonsils out? She's like, no, no, no. You need them. I'm like, but I'm always sick. I'm in here all the time. And she's like, you have to get them 12 times a year. And I'd get them like 11, and she was an ass. So when she retired, I got a new doctor, and I stopped asking until I asked one day, and she said, sure. I was like, oh my God. At the age of 30, I could get my tonsils out like a real adult. Now, I've never had surgery in my life, if you don't know, having your tonsils out as an adult is a lot different than having them out as a child. So I was a little nervous, so I got them out, and the actual procedure was fine, but the recovery, ladies and gentlemen, was horrific. The worst thing you could possibly put your body through. It felt like I had swallowed an uncut diamond that was like on fire constantly. I was so drugged up that I spent 2 weeks watching Footloose then Tremors on AMC back to back to back to back. And every time it was just so good. And I was like, one time I really want to give a speech like Kevin Bacon does at the end of Footloose. Like, just give it to them and just twist that knife, right? But I was waiting for it. So after a couple of weeks, I had to go back to my ENT, which is ears, nose, and throat doctor. And she was looking in my throat, and she was like, oh yes. Oh, I have done a fantastic job. But how was the recovery? And I said, well, it was horrific. It was one of the most painful things I've ever had done in my life. Like, I have broken my leg, break them again if I don't have to go through that. You know, I've had a spinal infection that rendered me like perilous for 2 weeks. Piece of cake. I had one wisdom tooth taken out with no Novocaine because of a communication error with my dentist and a lot of nitrous. He asked if I was frozen. I said, He took it as an so I felt that. But nothing compared to that. And she starts laughing at me. She's like, oh, really? That's funny because children have this procedure done every single day, and they're fine. Children, and you're an adult. And that's when it presented itself to me. This was my Kevin Bacon Footloose moment. Because without skipping a beat, I said, oh, okay. Well, if you want to look at it like that, children get violently shoved out of vaginas every single day, and they're fine. But if that happens to you as an adult, it's gonna fuck you up. I grabbed my stuff and I left. Now as I'm leaving, the receptionist goes, she's like, Rhiannon, come here. And I was like, what? And she's like, I heard that whole thing in there. And she was like, and listen, I had my tonsils taken out as an adult, and I have 2 children. And if it were between the 2, I would have another child come out sideways with no epidural, then have my tonsils taken out again. And I was like, okay. That's good to know if I ever decide to have children. So then in the following March, when I found out I was pregnant, I was pretty cool about it, because you know why? I've had my tonsils out. Piece of cake. Anyways, thank you so much.
Rhiannon Archer.